Greetings, it's Adam with Errata Non Grata here, doing another console look, although this one might work for arcade heroes because I'm talking about a game that is very famous, but on a very obscure platform, and that would be Space Invaders XL. Extra large. Why it's extra large, I don't know. On the front of the cover, it also says Special Edition, but that's not really explained. Now, reading from the back of this DVD case, as you get to watch Time Attack. Time Attack's where you just go through a certain number of waves of Space Invaders, and you get pixel shatter, at least, and different patterns of Space Invaders as you do that, and it also checks your accuracy, and so you just see how quickly you can get through the waves here. But anyways, mankind is counting on you to save the world again. The arcade classic Space Invaders is back just the way you remember it. Battle wave after wave of alien attack squadrons as they march down through the scary sky. Okay, it says scary, not starry. Play with or against your friend in special cooperative competitive modes, or go head-to-head in battle mode. Space Invaders from Taito features classic gameplay for 1 or 2 players, special game modes such as invisible aliens, zigzagging shots, moving bunkers, and more. Multiple classic versions such as black and white and color, and then 2-player battle mode, a whole new type of head-to-head gameplay. And so, this one came out in 2001. And it was very nice to have for a NUON fan like myself. I was very lucky to be the first one within at least the NUON community on the NUON forums, the official ones, to get my hands on a NUON. And in part it's because Samsung, when they released the Xtiva N2000, they didn't announce it. There was no press release or anything. It just showed up on CDW.com one day. I placed my order because I'd already been saving up for one, and it was there a short time later. And but the most frustrating thing about that, and being a NUON fan in general, was that the amount of game releases were few and far between. As I recall, the official number of released games was 6, maybe 7. I want to say it's 6. This being one of those 6, and the only arcade port, unless you want to count Tempest 3000, which maybe that would be considered an arcade port. But I think this one, this and Iron Soldier 3 are probably the rarest games of those 6. That's not saying much, I suppose. But it was very frustrating because I got my NUON in June of 2000, and the only games I got to play with it from between then and December were Ballistics, the packing game, puzzle game. Actually, I guess that was pretty much an arcade game first. Was Puzznik, I think. And the NUON demo disc. And of course, I played the crap out of that demo disc until I got sick of it. But at the very least, it was a DVD player. So I got to watch movies and got my hands on some early DVDs because it was the first DVD player we had in our house. Up until that point, we only had a VCR, and so that was nice. But there we go. See, congratulations. I almost wanted to say for a second, was that misspelled? But I guess it is right. So yeah, Time Attack mode's fun, and I guess just seeing how quickly you can get that done. But it didn't. One reason I was happy to pick this one up is it came out shortly after that long dearth of games. So like the games I got in December were Tempest 3000, Freefall 3050 AD, and Merlin Racing. And then this one came out a very short time later. I think it might have been January, February, somewhere around there. But one thing that was also nice about this is that it has the 2-player support, which Tempest 3000 wasn't really 2-player, didn't have a Tempest duel like Tempest 2000 did, and you also Freefall was a single-player game. Merlin Racing at least had 2 players, and so you could do split screen. racing on that, at least. But this one being an arcade port and having the battle mode was nice, although I can't remember playing the battle mode much. I mean, I probably should have done it for this recording here and convinced one of my kids to join me here, but I didn't. And so as far as the emulation goes on the arcade version, I did own an original 1978 Space Invaders upright machine for several years. I actually just sold it off a couple of weeks ago. It broke down in last year, and something wrong with the monitor where you could see only parts of each Space Invader, and it wasn't a board problem. I made sure of that. I had it tested in another one where it worked fine, so it was something, I think it was wrong with the tube. But as far as arcade perfect ports go, I mean, this one is pretty spot on. And as you saw there, it has the other modes as well. I mean, it's not the best Space Invaders compilation ever. There was a Space Invaders, I think it was the Silver Anniversary Edition, released, I want to say 2003 for arcades, that did have some really cool variations on it, including the original, of course, but sometimes the variations are a little more interesting to me than the original ones. I guess one thing that would be really nice, I mean, this is right now, 2023 is the 45th anniversary of Space Invaders, and so Taito's going to be doing something with it, the IP throughout the year. But one thing I wish a compilation like this would have had is, say, like the Atari 2600 version. Even the Atari 5200 version was also pretty cool. I mean, those ones weren't designed by Taito, they were designed at Atari, and all those variations made those really good versions. And granted, I'm not an expert on Space Invaders. I haven't played. Actually, this is the only other Space Invaders I've owned other than the Atari ones. And so, yeah, if they have put the 2600 version on a compilation out there, I didn't know about it. But anyways, that's Space Invaders XL for the NUON. Let me know what else you might want to watch. And thanks for watching this one. See you around.